Yo, what's up guys, new Siege video, and we can finally use our dupes. So if you have seen the last few summon sessions, we had a bunch of dupes, and those dupes we can actually use right now. Well, of course, this is not one of the dupes, but this is my cheat team that I always have to use. I just can't get enough of this team. It's too good, it's too good. And I haven't found a better team for offense yet than this. Like, pretty much not at all. So this is where I can use one of my first, well, dupes. Well, in this case, it's just no one. And I transformed them to the small ones. They're actually kind of cool. Like, normally I don't really like the chibi whatever units, but in this case, actually, both of them have Halloween skins. Both Alaya and Feng Yang have Halloween skins. I changed my Feng Yang and Alaya a little bit to have somewhat more speed, because normally they have no speed because they're used with Leo. But in this case, Seimei is a good counter to both Manon and to Nora. But it's also a pretty solid counter against Tianlang, because armor breaks only stick for one turn. So that makes it pretty easy to do stuff. And then the main damage is, like, sure, it's still kind of annoying. Tianlang gets a lot of attack bar every time that my Feng Yang gets attack bar. But that is not that big of an issue, because if you keep spamming the counters, at some point they're gonna hit the Feng Yang. My Feng Yang hits way more than any Tianlang would ever do. So with that, it's just pretty easy to get killing, and at some point you have the Manon annoying shit, but still, no armor, or just armor break, no defense buff. Hitting 5Ks on a tanky Tianlang, that's pretty solid. So yeah, in this case we played against Cardiac Unity and we played against ISSO, if I'm not mistaken. Cardiac Unity went pretty hard. They have a pretty solid roster at the moment, so we had to try hard a little bit, something like that. But yeah, it was a pretty fun Siege. Sometimes with Siege, it's just for me, like, I have to watch the map so long to actually get my hits in, and that's the part I dislike most about Siege. Like, doing the hits and all of that kind of stuff, and like running up the defenses and everything like that. That's not the biggest issue with Siege for me. For me, the biggest issue with Siege is just looking at the godforsaken map for the whole day. I'm busy with other shit, honey. Can't look at the fucking map the whole day. So very happy we have lead that does that, because I totally wouldn't. But yeah, for that, it's sometimes hard to get all of your hits in. But then again, I should actually make a video of only using LD5s for every hit. Well, a bunch of my teams have double LD5s. I actually have a very cool idea with Dark Cassandra. I haven't ruined it up yet. It needs pretty sick runes to actually work. But I have a pretty cool idea with that. So that's definitely going to be in my next video. So if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel and like this video, so you don't miss out on that Siege video. It is somewhat more tricky to find in, like, okay, where can I actually use that offense? But I think it would be one of my stronger, if not strongest offenses, if it works. Like, I think it would work. But again, we need some good-ass rune quality for that. So this is also one of my units that I have as dupe right now. I have dupe Tiana. I actually have 3 Tianas, because I also picked the Tiana from the event, because Countess likes to troll me. I spent 60k summoning stones for a Tiana, and there's like, oh, you have one on the event as well. And that's actually your best pick, because everything else was just dupe. God! Come to us, why you troll me like this? That DMR hit pretty hard, like, not gonna lie, that was a lot of damage. Still, it died. And I'm also starting to use this team a little bit again. And I upped the damage on the artifacts by a bit, and they're just, yeah, if bombs miss, it is still quite a little bit of an issue of an offense, but it's just a nice offense. I don't know. I missed using this offense. Probably towards, like, end of the season, especially in Siege Tournament, I probably won't use this because it's still a tricky offense. But early Sieges, I can totally get away with it, I say. But look at that damage from S1. That was like 2.9s. And this one is also like 2.8, 2.9. So that's a lot of S1 damage. So they have pretty good runes at the moment, but still, bombs can miss. And bombs missing is a tricky thing. So in this case, this is where my double trouble happens. I can use another Feng Yang. And it has the same build as the first Feng Yang. I do have 2 different Feng Yang builds actually set up. But for Siege, I prefer to just use my Vaio set, because I have one on triple guard And I have one on Vio Destroy. I could actually probably rune 2 on the Vio Destroy, because that is probably the best build. But for Arena Offense, I actually tend to use that one with Triple Guard. I'm actually somewhat unimpressed by the damage, how much more that one does, because this is a Feng Yang on 2.6k defense exactly. The other one is a 3.1k defense, which is arguably a lot more. But it does a decent amount more, but it doesn't start hitting like 15k or some nonsense insanely high. So it does hit decent amount more, but it's not like crazy damage. So I like my Fio set more. And then one of those slow blow hits, I guess still one of the best counters against this team. And this is one that we will speed up for you. I've seen some people kind of misplay with this team, and the main thing is you don't really want to focus one thing down very hard. Like, if you can manage to kill something, it's good. But if you only focus one thing with Bolfric S3s, at some point you definitely want to never do a Bolfric S3 on anything that has a shield, because that would pretty much be like Molly HP is way too much. That's not going to help you. But you actually want to kind of spread out the damage between left and right, because Molly is a single target healer. Molly is pretty terrible at healing multiple units at the same time. And that gives you a lot more kill potential at some point to get your kills in. So as you can see right now, I'm not just hard focusing down the Manon. I'm actually focusing down 2 units, and at some point something will be in kill range, and therefore I can kill it. So that's just a tip while using this team. If you just try to hard focus down the Manon, you might actually be never able to kill it, because at some point you're just trying to use your Bolfric S3 through a shield. It ain't gonna happen. And in all honesty, with this team, I don't care who dies first. So for that reason, it's pretty much that. A lot of people actually ask me, is like, okay, you show rune builds before you go in. A lot of my units are on defense, so I can't really show them. But this unit is not on defense, and I actually double checked if this thing was runed. So here, you can see the rune build. Yay. In most cases, rune builds are, for me, I would say, relatively predictable. It's just an insane amount of stats. Like the insane amount, like this guy was actually kind of slow. Well, it makes sense that Manon and Molly are kind of slow. But this thing did a lot of damage. And then artifacts for Dominic is all additionals. So then Dominic can still be pretty good as long as he doesn't get hella parried. And if he procs and then doesn't get parried, we pretty much insta-win. Also, this team, I probably don't have any lose potential, I would say. That it's very low odds to lose with this. And of course you want to put Destroy on your Dominic in case you start getting a lot of debuffs and shit goes kind of down the drain, and something like close to dies that you can still have like a chance of killing shit, because if they have lower HP they heal less. That helps out a lot. Yeah, and then at this point I think I literally just pressed auto, because I'm like, yeah, there's no way I will lose this. I just press auto and should be good to go. Shouldn't be that hard, right? Yay! Easy. Then I had to hit backlines and a Shaina Martina Triana. And I always hit this with this team. I never do anything else. But then I noticed, like, even if your defense is on backline, I think you should still rune up your defense. The guys don't slack like that, man. Rune up your defense. Like, once again, I pressed auto. Like, that's why Tractor went for a skill like that. I pressed auto and I was like, oh wait, maybe it shouldn't auto because Tractor actually. But yeah, I'm pretty sure this whole team was deruned. Yeah, this team's so good, man. And then the final hit, another dupe we can use, which is the Grogan. So I can use the Grogan with Tiana right now. I could use Siana with Tiana right now. I could use Poseidon with Tiana right now. I could use CP with Tiana right now. I have so many Tiana options right now. And then Hachu, everything hell up dead. Very easy, right? So yeah, that was our 10-10. Pretty fast siege video, but that happens when I have multiple Tianas. I can even build a third Tiana. Also, all of my Tianas are skilled up already. All of my Alayas are, like, I have 2 Alayas right now. They're both skilled. I have 2 Feng Yangs, both of them skilled. So I had a bunch of Delmons laying around. And to be honest, there's not too much stuff that I still need to Delmon. So for that reason, it's pretty easy for me to just say, like, okay, I'll be a siege player now. Just helping out the guild. But it's also easier for me, because if I just have easier clears, I don't really have to rerune too much. It's just switching one set to another set. Come to us. We need presets like in Sky Arena. Or not in Sky Arena, in Chronicles. I just want to say, like, hey, this is my Lucian set. And I want to say, like, instead of clicking one unit, grabbing his set, putting it on in the unit, I want to say, okay, I go to a unit, I have like 6 presets or 10 presets, and I just say like, okay, I want to use this set. And then wherever the runes come from, I take this set. And then preferably with artifacts with that. Ooh, would be so chill. Siege players would love you if you do that. So guys, that is it for the Siege video for today. Stay tuned for the next Siege video, or maybe I'll do a combination of a guild battle video and Siege video, because then I can showcase the team 3 times instead of just once. And definitely going to use that Cassandra in there if it fits, but I'll just try to find like an offense that fits. But I have a very solid, it actually didn't came from me, that idea, it came from one of you guys, so I highly appreciate it for that. And we shall see an awesome team, but that's also, of course, more... of course, more other kind of videos are coming out. Also, let me know in the comments if you have any specific thing that you're saying, like, hey, say, can you make maybe a video on this or that, maybe on this specific unit or that specific content or these kind of themes. Let me know that in the comments as well. And guys, as always, see you in the next one.